Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be discussing about preparation of salts. Now the first method of preparation of salt is neutralization. In this method, an insoluble base reacts with an acid to give a soluble salt and water. So let's see one example. If we take one example like copper oxide. Copper oxide is an insoluble oxide. When it reacts with a dilute acid like H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, then it gives copper sulfate and water. This copper sulfate is a soluble salt. So in this way, a soluble salt is formed with the process of neutralization reaction. Let's see another example. If we take another example like lead hydroxide. Lead hydroxide is an insoluble hydroxide. When it reacts with a dilute acid like nitric acid, HNO3, then it gives lead nitrate, which is a soluble salt, and water. Now let's balance the equation. This is the balance. Okay. So in this way, some soluble salts are formed with the process of neutralization reaction. So these are the salts, a few salts which can be formed in the process of neutralization reaction like copper sulfate, lead nitrate, copper chloride. Okay. All these salts are formed with the help of neutralization reaction. Next method is neutralization reaction, but here titration is involved. Titration is a process which is involved in the neutralization reaction. So it's a special type of neutralization reaction. Let's see what happens here. Here also an acid reacts with the base, but the difference is here the base is a soluble base. Here a soluble base reacts with a dilute acid to give a soluble salt and water. Okay, so let's see. One example is very easy. NaOH, sodium hydroxide, is a soluble hydroxide which reacts with a dilute acid like hydrochloric acid, HCl, and it gives rise to NaCl, which is a soluble salt, okay, and water. This is a simple example. Okay. So let's see few examples like NaCl, NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride, then Na2SO4, that is ammonium sulfate, sodium sulfate. So sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, ammonium chloride, all these salts are formed with the help of neutralization reaction, but a special type. That means in this type of method, titration is involved. Okay. Now, next method. Next method is simple displacement. In this method, what happens? An active metal reacts with a dilute acid. See, an example of active metal. We all know iron is an active metal. When iron reacts with a dilute acid like H2SO4, then it gives a soluble salt FeSO4 and it liberates hydrogen. Okay, it liberates hydrogen gas and it gives a soluble salt FeSO4. Let's take another example. Another example of active metal is magnesium. Magnesium, when reacts with dilute acid like hydrochloric acid HCl, it gives a soluble salt MgCl2, that is magnesium chloride, and liberates hydrogen gas. Okay, let's balance the reaction. Yes, that's what. Clear? So see, next method is direct combination or synthesis. What happens in this particular method? In this particular method, a metallic element, that means a metal, reacts with a non-metal and it gives either a soluble salt or insoluble salt. See, if we take one metal Like for example, again if we take iron, which is a metal, iron, when it reacts with a non-metal like chlorine, then it gives rise to FeCl3. Okay, let's balance the equation. This ferric chloride is soluble. It's a soluble salt. Okay, let's take another example where an insoluble salt is formed. Like let's take lead. Lead is a metal. When it reacts with non-metal like sulfur, then it gives rise to PbS, lead sulfide. Okay, this lead sulfide is insoluble salt. So with the help of this method, direct combination or synthesis, we can prepare both soluble or insoluble salt. Clear? Now the next method is double decomposition. In this double decomposition method, what happens? Here, the two solutions of soluble salt are reacted to give rise another soluble salt and an insoluble salt. Let's take one example and then I will explain. Let's take lead nitrate. Lead nitrate is a soluble salt. We will take a solution of lead nitrate and a solution of another soluble salt like NaCl. These two salt solutions have been taken and they reacted with each other to give rise to sodium nitrate and lead chloride. These two salt solutions are soluble, that means they are soluble salts. They give rise to one salt which is sodium nitrate, which is soluble. Okay, this salt is soluble, but lead chloride is another salt which is insoluble. It will give a precipitate. It will give a precipitate. It will give a white PPT. Okay, so in this method, two solutions of soluble salt give rise to one soluble salt and one precipitate of insoluble salt. Let's take another example. Calcium chloride. Calcium chloride is a soluble salt. Okay, it is reacted with a solution of another soluble salt, sodium carbonate. Now it gives rise to sodium chloride, which we all know that it's a soluble salt, and one precipitate of insoluble salt, that is calcium carbonate. Okay, calcium carbonate is the salt which is insoluble, that means it will give a PPT. Clear? Now we will see how we can prepare an insoluble salt from another insoluble salt. Let's take one example. Suppose we will see preparation of PbCl2. That means how we will prepare PbCl2, lead chloride. We will prepare lead chloride from what? From PbO. We will take lead oxide and we will produce lead chloride. Both lead oxide and lead chloride are insoluble. Let's see. First what we will do, we will take lead oxide. We will react this lead oxide with nitric acid. Okay, then it will be converted to lead nitrate. Clear? It will be converted to lead nitrate. Lead oxide is converted to lead nitrate. Now we have lead nitrate. Next we will do this lead nitrate. What we will do? This lead nitrate is then reacted with sodium chloride, and from here we will get lead chloride. Clear? So what are the methods? First, lead oxide is converted to lead nitrate. How? By reacting with nitric acid. Then this lead nitrate is converted to lead chloride. How? By reacted with NaCl, sodium chloride. So from this we get lead chloride from lead oxide. Clear? So from one insoluble salt we are converting to another insoluble salt. Let's take another example. What is that example? That is preparation of that is preparation of lead sulfate, which is an insoluble salt, from lead carbonate. Clear? So here again we will do same thing. What we will do? We will convert lead carbonate to lead nitrate by reacting with HNO3. Then again that lead nitrate will be converted to lead sulfate by reacting with sodium sulfate, same as that of the lead chloride. Clear? Now next is water of crystallization. What is water of crystallization? See, what is water of crystallization? The amount of water molecules which enter into loose chemical combination. So water of crystallization is the amount of water molecules which actually enter into the loose chemical combination with one molecule of the substance on crystallization from its aqueous solution. So this is the amount of water molecules which enter into the chemical combination, but that loose chemical combination with one molecule of the substance on crystallization from its aqueous solution. Clear? Now next is hydrated salts. Next is hydrated salts versus anhydrous salts. What is that? See, hydrated salts means those salts which contain a definite number of water molecules, or water molecules as water of crystallization. So hydrated salts are those salts which have definite number of water molecules as water of crystallization. Clear? Now, anhydrous salts are those salts which do not contain water of crystallization. Anhydrous salts do not contain water of crystallization, but hydrated salts contain a definite number of water molecules as water of crystallization. Example of anhydrous salts is copper sulfate, anhydrous copper sulfate. We will write anhydrous, the word anhydrous, in front of copper sulfate, so as to depict that this particular copper sulfate doesn't contain any water of crystallization. Clear? Now, these are the examples of hydrated salts. First is gypsum. Gypsum is nothing but calcium sulfate, CaSO4, dot 2H2O. It contains 2 water of crystallization. Next is blue vitriol. It is copper sulfate, CuSO4, dot 5H2O. Okay. Next is Epsom salt. Epsom salt is MgSO4, magnesium sulfate, dot 7H2O. It contains 7 water of crystallization. Next there is washing soda, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, dot 10H2O. Clear? These are the examples of hydrated salts. Now, next is the difference between deliquescent, efflorescent and hygroscopic salts. What are deliquescent salts? Deliquescent salts are the water soluble salts. When they are exposed to the atmosphere, what they do? They absorb moisture from atmosphere and they dissolve in the moisture and then they change into the liquid. So, deliquescent substances are solids that absorb moisture from the atmosphere and they then dissolve into that moisture and they get changed into liquid. That means deliquescent they are water soluble. Clear? They are water soluble. Clear? So they can absorb high amount of water vapor. Efflorescent. Efflorescent are the crystalline hydrated salts. When they get exposed to atmosphere, they lose their water of crystallization either partially or completely and they change into the powder just opposite to that of deliquescent. Deliquescent salts, they absorb moisture from the atmosphere, and efflorescent salts, they lose their water of crystallization into the atmosphere. Deliquescent salts, they get converted into the liquid, and efflorescent salts, they get converted into the powder. Okay. And what are hygroscopic? Hygroscopic substances are those substances which are solids. They can absorb water from the surroundings. But what's the difference between deliquescent and hygroscopic? Deliquescent salts, when they absorb moisture from the atmosphere, they get changed into the liquid. But hygroscopic salts, they absorb moisture from the atmosphere, but they don't change their state. That means they remain solids. They don't get changed into liquid. An example of hygroscopic substance is concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4. It acts as a drying agent. Okay. Deliquescent salt example is anhydrous CaCl2, calcium chloride. And an example of efflorescent is washing soda. Washing soda. Clear? Okay. So I think this particular lesson is absolutely clear to you all, and I will be back with the next video very soon. Till then, stay tuned to my channel and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you are liking my videos, then please like my video because I need your support a lot. Thank you for watching the video.